Segment 1. The Deceptive Calm of Nam Talu. On October 13, 2007, a group of 9 people entered the Nam Talu cave in Khao Sok National Park, Thailand. The group included 4 Swiss nationals, a 10-year-old boy from Germany, a teenage girl from the UK, and 2 Thai guides. The cave is known for its scenic passages, which, during the dry season, are filled with shallow, predictable water. However, this tour was taking place in the middle of Thailand's rainy season. While the weather at the entrance appeared stable and no rain had fallen that morning, heavy monsoon rains were occurring further upstream in the mountains. Because Nam Talu is part of a complex drainage system, it is highly sensitive to upstream flooding. As the group moved deeper into the stream passage, the guides noticed the water level was slowly rising. Within minutes, the slow rise became a violent surge. A flash flood roared through the tunnel, filling narrow sections completely and leaving zero airspace. Panic broke out as the current swept the group away. 8 of the 9 people inside drowned instantly. The only survivor was the British teenager, who managed to climb onto a narrow ledge above the waterline. She waited there in absolute darkness for more than 16 hours before a search team discovered her. This tragedy led to a seasonal closure order from June to November each year, but the lessons of Nam Talu would soon be forgotten. Segment 2. The Technicality of the 1/3 Rule. In cave diving and rescue operations, survival is often a matter of rigid mathematical protocols. One of the most critical is the 1/3 air supply rule. This rule is simple but absolute. A diver uses 1/3 of their air supply to go in, 1/3 for the way out, and must keep the final 1/3 as a safety reserve. We saw the breaking of this rule during the Tam Luang rescue in 2018. When divers John Valanthan and Rick Stanton pushed deeper into the flooded system to find 12 trapped boys and their coach, they swam into unknown territory, going far beyond the 1/3 limit. In environments like these, the danger isn't just drowning, it is the buildup of carbon dioxide. Without proper airflow, a small group can consume all breathable air within minutes. Once oxygen is depleted, confusion and unconsciousness set in. For those trapped in the dark, time becomes a distorted concept. The boys at Tam Luang were shocked to learn they had been underground for 10 days because they had lost all sense of time. Segment 3. The Dead Sea Tragedy. On October 25, 2018, a group of schoolchildren in Jordan arrived at Zarqa Ma'in near the Dead Sea for an educational trip. The morning was sunny and warm, offering no indication of the disaster brewing in the distance. The students were walking through a wadi, a dry riverbed carved through steep rock. Around midday, as the students posed for group photos, a sound like distant thunder began to echo through the gorge. Within minutes, a 6-foot-high wall of brown water came screaming through the narrow channel at incredible speed. It was a flash flood, carrying a lethal mix of rocks, branches, and debris. The gorge walls were too steep to climb, and the current hit the children with the force of a truck. Teachers tried to grab the children, but the water pulled them under. Rescuers later found bodies scattered miles downstream, some buried deep in mud and silt. In total, 21 people died, most of them children, killed by a storm they never even saw. Segment 4. The 130-foot wall of mud. To understand the absolute peak of flash flood destruction, we look to the Armero tragedy of November 13, 1985. When the Nevado del Ruiz volcano erupted, it melted glacial ice on the peak, creating lahars, massive mudflows that reached speeds of 37 miles per hour. These lahars were not just water, they had the consistency of concrete. At 11:25 p.m., a wall of mud and debris over 130 feet high struck the town of Armero. Within minutes, 85% of the town was buried under several feet of volcanic debris that hardened like cement as it settled. The most iconic victim was 13-year-old Omaira Sanchez, who was trapped up to her chest in cold, contaminated water for 60 hours. Rescuers could not free her because her legs were pinned beneath a collapsed concrete roof. The water around her was filled with human waste, and her legs developed gangrene from a lack of circulation. She eventually succumbed to gangrene and hypothermia, while the world watched on television. Her death remains a symbol of the catastrophic power of water and earth combined. Segment 5. The Cycle of Tragedy in Nam Talu. Despite the lessons of 2007, the Nam Talu cave claimed more lives on August 6, 2024. A group of 22 tourists and 2 Thai guides entered the cave during the rainy season, violating the official closure policy. Just like the previous disaster, the weather seemed normal when the tour started at 5 p.m. But while the group was exiting, a surge of upstream water rushed through the tunnel. Rescue teams were able to extract the tourists, but a 37-year-old Thai guide was swept away by the current. His body was found several hours later. He had been helping others escape when the flood overwhelmed him. The investigation confirmed that the tour operator had acted with gross negligence, prioritizing tourism income over the history of caving disasters in the region. It remains a stark reminder that in the world of caving, nature does not give second chances.